Well, good evening, everyone, to 69 minutes at Portimão in the final race today of the TRACC AWD IVGC series, hosted by TRACC. And, well, today we will be doing, as per tradition, 69 minutes at Portimão. My name is Jeremy, not Welsh commentator, and I will be hosting for you today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. I am having a pretty good one. It is not diabolically hot this weekend, so I'm not dying in my own commentary room. So, if you remember last week, Charmander wrapped up the race. He wrapped up his championship, both overall and the VTuber championship. Now, we do have some positions still to be decided. Third place is still up for grabs for basically everyone up from 3rd to 7th. All have a shot at third place in the championship. Colin Barker is just 2 points ahead of Makua in third place, so there won't be any hello Panic Fungus. They do be going Neum right now. Today we're currently watching them qualify. But Mike Hurkett, Victor Masato, Alan Kale, and Julian Strasser all have a chance at making it to third. But Julian Strasser will not be racing today, so it will be down to Makua, Hurkett, Masato, and Kale to see who will grab that third place. And in the lower end of the table, Reska Kyoso is sitting at 8th, 14 points ahead at Victor Santos, who sits only 2 points ahead of Trazione Integrale, who could pass Santos in the overall standings. And in the VTuber standings, of course, Charmander both ahead in both regular and VTuber standings. Makua in second, Victor Masato in third, can also get overall third. Reska Kyoso comfortably in eighth, and Trazione Integrale in the bottom of in 10th. In the bottom of those VTuber standings. I think I don't have the full standings in front of me right now, but I think there's some other VTuber there. I think Alex Tooney, who's part-time, is behind Trazione. Now, let's see. We have this is 69 minutes at Portimão, so only one race today. And let's actually bring up that timing screen for everyone. So currently Charmander is leading the overall standings, the overall qualifying time sheets, followed by Hurkett and Colin Barker. Now, there's only one race today. It's 69 minutes at Portimão. Now, I am a personal fan of Portimão, not in F1 cars. I preferably prefer GT cars in this track, which, luckily enough, that's what we'll be doing. Now, I think Portimão will be also a nice change compared to the last few tracks we have done these last few days. This is not a short track, so there will be more room. I.e. more room for everyone to mess up, which will give me more things to talk about. Also, very important about this long format of 69 minutes at Portimão is, are you going to go a no stop, or are you going to pit, or are you going to pit for tires? All of these things are going to be very important to see what everyone does. And I think personally, it's going to be a very interesting race. Last time I watched Portimão, I wasn't commentating this time, it was actually pretty good. And I think Portimão is always a fun track. It is a very tricky track, but I think it'll do its time. Now, I hope I hope I don't have any internet issues, because when I started the stream there was poor connection issues apparently, and now everything is fine. But we are having everything's fine so far. So anyway, today we seems to have 12 runners, at least so far. You never know, we've had some late joiners, but today it seems to be Charmander is racing, Mike Huckett is racing, Colin Barker, Mekua, Akeem, Victor Masato, Alan Kale, Bunovich, Galantine, Alex Likes Tunes, or Tune Alex Tooney, sorry, iMetrix, and then Trazione. A little thinner field compared to last time, but that's still 12 racers will give us plenty of fun to see. And I think I'm going to keep this on Herget, who is on an absolute flyer apparently right now. So I think we'll see quite interesting things, especially if we're going to have pit stops. If someone will be pitting, it's going to be very interesting, because they can't mess it up. Basically, if you're going to be pitting, you have to be perfect. Speeding through the pit in the pit lane penalty will kill any chances you have of winning the race, because you'll have to enter the pits again, or you might even get a stop-go penalty, seeing how sometimes this is quite unforgiving, this race. And I think we just had one person drop out. I did not see who that was. But we'll see. We'll see at the title screen. But yes, we'll see how this race will go. How's everyone doing tonight? That's another question. If anyone anyone who's watching right now, how are you guys doing tonight? Are you excited for our 69 minutes at Portimão? And it looks Huckett has gone P1 with an absolute flyer of a lap. Just 56 hundredths of a second, 56 hundredths of a second ahead of the champion of this season, Charmander. Now, I will give you guys some updates. Today, we will be switching games. Next series will have ACC, Assetto Corsa Competizione, which I think will be quite exciting. And honestly, I think it's going to be a fun part. It's going to be a fun series to watch and commentate over. You will not see me for those first two races, I believe, because I will be going on holiday. I have deserved that, and I need it. I've been very busy at work last few days, and last few weeks and months, so I just need a break. My boss is making me take holiday time, so let me switch to someone on track real quick while we're here. Here's Victor Masato. There we go. So Victor Masato on track. I think we'll have a wonderful time here today. I imagine we'll have a pretty good race overall. No reverse grid shenanigans. Which, I mean, you know, reverse grid shenanigans are always fun. But we'll see what they will do. I'm uploading a image real quick. I do apologize. I forgot to add this layer. I know it says race 1, but we'll only have race 1. It will only have one race. And apparently Tooney is going some sightseeing currently in the runoff of Portimão. Now, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe his wheel disconnected. Yeah. We don't have many people on track right now. Trazione has gone up to P9. We'll see how this develops further into qualifying, but we are getting to the business end of the qualifying. I think this will The field probably won't change much. Let's see if anyone is on track. No, we have a lot of people off. Currently just waiting in the garage, waiting for qualifying to wrap up, which I think is fair. Qualifying is, you don't want to mess you're probably, most people who are currently in on qualifying are probably just getting some laps in just to get the feel for the track, because again, we've done short tracks all this year, all this season. Sorry, season, we're not in a year. I am losing track of time. And we will be, they will probably just, on any sort of practice usually helps, and of course, surviving is most important, as per usual. And I think that's very... Oh, and a spin! Very unfortunate. Probably... Very unfortunate spin there from Trazione. I think got a little bit on the curb there. I do apologize for any background noises that you will be hearing today. I have a cat in my room. She just insisted on being in the room today because if not, she would be scratching my door. And I don't like when she does that, so... Let's see, who else is on track right now? Mentrix is currently on track. And we're getting to the business end. We're just under 2 minutes of qualifying remaining. And yeah, we'll soon be done here. And I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be a pretty exciting race. And Science has also decided to stop going. And as per usual, I will apologize for any sort of action I do miss because I only have only one set of eyes today. And I sadly cannot see everything on the track. Hopefully also Raceroom cooperates with their camera angles today. Because sometimes I just don't see anything because the camera angles are just terrible. Which is always very fun. Now we do have some people going on track right now. Colin Barker doing a lap. And I think, yeah. Yes, Colin Barker has gone off and has returned to the garage. So, I hope this is going to be... I think and yes, here's the results of qualifying. In P1, we have Mike Hurkett. And then P2, Charmander, our champion. Colin Barker in P3. Mekua VTuber, VTuber Mekua in P4. Victor Masato in P5. Alan Kale in P6. Alex Tooney in P7. Antoni Bunovic in P8. Trazione Integrale in P9. Matteo Galantin in P10. And Mentrix Signs in P11. To wrap up the field. There will be, based on those times, I imagine there will be some lapping today occurring, and we'll see how that goes. But, for now, then we're getting ready for the race. That's going to be happening soon. And it will be, of course, 69 minutes at Portimão. I will try to mention it being 69 minutes at Portimão and not giggling as much as possible, because I have the humor of a child. Coffee boy broke me, as one might say, for YouTube speak. Yes, so I think this will be interesting. Hopefully I'm going to get camera controls here soon too, so I can pick a quite handy car to race with, to see the start of this race with. And I am excited today to bring you the last race of the TRACC AWC season. 69 minutes at Portimão. We'll be looking at Charmander. 5 lights are up. And they are away. 5 lights out and away they go. Good start for Charmander. Hurkett seem a bit slow off the line, but still slightly ahead. Side by side into turn 1. Charmander takes the lead away from Hurkett into turn 1. And there's a caution, and it is Trazione has spun it around. I did not see why that spin happened, so I could not tell you what exactly happened there, but we're here we are still. Hurkett right behind Charmander, trying to get the lead back that Hurkett lost in the first turn. Going on the outside here and wide, and that might give the door open for Colin Barker, who's right behind him. Colin Barker, taking a look. No, not yet. Passing in Portimão is relatively difficult. Actually, it is a lot tighter than it appears. And let's see, Charmander is starting to build a slight gap between him and Hurkett. And Hurkett is defending between him, is trying to fend off Barker, and Makua is also sneaking up on this fight. Currently, the running is Charmander in first, Mike Hurkett in second, Colin Barker in third, Makua in fourth, Alan Kale fifth, Victor Masato in sixth, iMentrix in seventh, Ikim in P8, Bunovic in P9, Galantine in P10, and Alex Tunis in P11, and rounding up the field is Trazione Integrale. There might have been contact between the two, but I do not know. I did not see the incident between the two in the back. Ooh, there's some. Ikim might be making a move here on Mentrix. See if he can hug it out around the outside here, and goes really wide, and oop, oversteers and corrects and loses a position to Bunovic. And Galantine is now right on behind the back. Oh, and Tooney is pitting. I think maybe he picked up a penalty. I'm not sure. Oh no, he is pitting. I'm not sure for what, but he is pitting. Bunovic, let's see, let's look down the field. Charmander is streaking away from Mike Hurkett. Colin Barker is still trying to be behind, trying to get past trying to stay with Mike Hurkett, who did qualify P1 for this race. And I think that's a retire. Oh no, he's still in the pits. I thought it might have been a retirement. Colin Barker is currently chasing down Mike Hurkett, and Mike Hurkett is trying to stay close enough to Charmander to see if he can gain it. Maybe during when lap traffic is, maybe make up some time. Ikim is very close to Bunovic. We'll see if he can hook it. They can hook it around the outside. Oh, loses the back end again a little bit. Squirmy, and it might give Galantine an opportunity to pass here. Galantine right behind Ikim, who's also right behind Bunovic. So this might be tight going here into turn one. Ikim gets it around. Bunovic does get the move done. Will the move stick though? It appears so. Bunovic yes, it looks like Ikim has gotten past Bunovic, but Bunovic is still close on the tail, and Galantine might still benefit from these two fighting now, and Galantine goes a little bit wide, but it does seem that this fight was definitely not over anytime soon between these two. Oh, and it looks like Ikim goes wide, and Edwards gives the door wide open for Bunovic. But Bunovic also, I think, I think a bit too hard on the brakes there, and can't use the opportunity to get past Ikim, but he is still right on the bumper and goes a little bit wide right now. So let's go on. Oh, and that's Galantine! And Galantine has gone into the barriers. And that's a spin. And that will be some damage there for our Malaysian driver. Ooh, yes, that doesn't look good. That will probably be a required pit stop for the driver, for Galantine. Now, that frees up Bunovic a little bit from the pressure behind. And it does, but still, oh, Bunovic loses it, and Bunovic slides it into the grass and goes lawn mowing for a short second. And that will give, again, time for Trazione to catch up, who has gotten up in a place from Galantine going into the barriers. Now Hurricane is catching up to Charmander. Ah yes, Tooney has mentioned in the chat that if his car evaporates, it is because there's thunderstorms in his area. So maybe there was an issue with his connection that could have caused his initial issues that he had. Huket is gaining on Charmander. Ikim is gaining on Mentrix. Quite quickly there too, which I think Mentrix might have gone wide in a turn. Ikim looking to gain another position here, who's been moving up a little bit. Quote, let's actually go on board, if I believe. Can I please switch cameras? Let's go on to the front camera. Let's get some nice engine sounds. And I will shut up a little bit. Oh, and I see a yellow, and I think it's Trazione has spun it in. Yes, it does look like Trazione has spun it. But back to Ikim. Ikim pressurizing Mentrix. Seeing if they can get past the German driver. A good battle here developing between these two. Between the yes. Oh nope, it still does not show what car he's driving. He is driving iMentrix is driving an AMG. If you're curious, and the BMW of Ikim. Looking on the outside here. Let's switch cameras. We'll see if another move on the outside makes it work, and it goes a little bit wide. Oop, yeah, that makes that move work, and Ikim gets up to P7. Now back to the front. Huket is catching up. Did beat out Charmander, the champion, by a few hundredths of a second. About 500ths of a second. A little over 500ths of a second. And is catching here. I believe if Huket wins, if Huket wins or finish high in this race, I think he will be able to jump up to P3. Which I imagine is a dream. Which because it's only one race in today, we will have double points. Which of course, as due to the race length, makes sense. Yes, it is. Alex Tooney has retired due to thunderstorms, I believe. Alex Tooney has retired due to his right suspension being completely shot. Pit menu won't let him fix it. He'd rather not spend the race getting in the way of others. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate to Alex. I believe that there's always ACC, and you're a part-time in this series, so there's always another series. And yes, Huket has gained on Charmander quite significantly now, and might be able to get a move here soon, as there are just under 5. Huket is just under 6/10 of a second behind Charmander. Charmander seems to be getting better out of the back sector of Portimão, while Huket seems to be getting better time out of the front sector of Portimão. Charmander takes also a very tight line there, which is gaining him time. And it's again back down to. Yes, it seems to be that Charmander gets a lot of his time back in the last sector of this track, but Huket seems to be gaining a lot of time in the first sector, which would make sense that based off the qualifying times, Huket was doing quite well in the first sector, according to when I checked last time, was about 2/10 of a second up on Charmander in the qualifying time in the first sector. So let's see if Hukat can gain this time back. But again, Hukat would be pretty happy in the position he is due to the double points. I think he would be able to grab P2 for himself. I do not have a spreadsheet open to look at the point standings, and knowing my luck, if I look at the point standings, I will somehow miss the only very crucial thing happening in this race, and I'm not going to risk that. We are under an hour now here in Portimão. As a reminder, for those who are joining us late, this is 69 minutes at Portimão. Currently in the lead, we have the current championship leader and winner after last week's race, Charmander, in first. Followed by Mike Hukat in P2, who is looking to improve to P3 in the overall standings. And this would be done. He is trying to catch VTuber Mekua, who is currently running in fourth, which I think would be just enough to edge out Mekua for that place. Running in third, we have Colin Barker, kind of running his own race, but doesn't need to really do much. He is guaranteed second place. He is 52 points ahead of third place, so he has no worries of being caught. In fifth place, we have Alan Kale, who is quite far off of Mekua, and Victor Masato is the next closest to him in P6. Akeem sitting in P7, having done a couple overtakes past Imentrix, Bunovic, and Bunovic. Which, talking about Imentrix is sitting in P8, Bunovic in P9, Trazione Integrale in P10, and Galantine is out of the pits now, having repaired their damage, is already a lap down, and we have and as mentioned before, Alex Tooney has retired due to suspension damage. Let's switch to Hukat, and let's listen to some Beamer sounds. Oh, Masato actually has gained on Kale. Kale might have gone a bit wide in a turn. So we might have a battle on our hands here soon. Yes, now, let's see. Now, we will be seeing what happens here between all these racers. Right now, we are currently in the intermediate period where... Oh, we have a caution. I think that's Trazione going wide. Yes, Trazione has gone wide, and that is Galantine past Trazione, but Trazione still keeps the position, as Galantine is a whole lap down. Does look like Trazione has a little bit... Oh, and that's... Oh, ooh. Galantine, another spin into the barriers. And that, again, is not going to do well for the car. And I think, yep, that is a lost hood for Galantine. Let's go back to the front here. Masato is slowly inching closer on Alan Kale. And Hukat is slowly inching closer again on Charmander. Now, again, we'll see how these things will differ with pit strategies. Tires will be... Fuel will be the... I think the... So, Raceroom does not... If you go on the regular engine mode, Raceroom will not let you go the entire time needed for this race. So, you have to do some fuel saving, which is always fun. Except if you're doing the fuel saving drill in the F1 games, which I don't like at all. But besides the point, fuel saving will be important in today's race. What also will be important in today's race is tire management. You will be using the same tires for a long time, and if you go a little bit wide or take too much curb throughout the race, it's gonna wear on your tires, and it's gonna make the last few laps, make the latter laps of this race quite difficult. Oh yes, everyone is kind of holding station right now, so let's see if anyone in chat has anything to say. No, I don't see anything new, so let's go back to the race. I think that once we get started close to the 30-minute mark, we'll start with 30 minutes left to go. We'll start seeing maybe some pit stops, maybe some early pit stops just to fuel up again and change tires. We'll see how that goes. So yes, today I think we're having quite a... So far, the race has gotten a little more pedestrian after that start with a spin. And I imagine Tooney picked up the suspension damage. Sorry, I just banged my drink against the mic. I think Tooney probably picked up his damage by going over too much curb, which is always, you know, the very likely thing to happen in this race on a track like this. Now, the Hooket is still keeping Charmander within sight. I cannot see what sort of strategy they are going currently under. I did know in Discord they spoke about fuel saving, so we'll see who's doing the better fuel saving, who's doing the better tire management, because that's will come down to who will win / get their positions right. And we does look like we will be coming up on lap traffic here. It appears to be... Let's look from Charmander's view. Oh, we have a yellow. It's Galantine has gone wide, and the lap traffic ended up not mattering much and not changing much in this race. We have reached the 50 minutes left to go mark, just about, here at Portimão. And yes, what's will be interesting So I think today I will talk a little bit to mention some personal things. I'm very happy that I can be here today, and I'm very happy that I got this opportunity to commentate. I very much miss doing any stuff relating to sim racing. I sadly have a full-time job, so I usually don't have the time to dedicate enough to get good enough to be at least comfortably good enough, at least for racing sim rigs. I do play on the more casual games, obviously. I play on F1 and Gran Turismo, which do obviously have sim racing options. But I respect to anyone who does this, because I don't have the time and craft and skill it takes to do that, and it is incredible. And I respect all 12 drivers, all the drivers who participated so far this season for doing this. It's quite a big time commitment, and you know, props to anyone who does it. Now let's see how the rest of this race is going. The only really close thing, close cars to me right now is Huket is just under a just over a second behind. Just over a second behind Charmander, and I think Victor Mercado just under 2 seconds behind Alan Kale. But I will sadly have to leave you guys real quickly because I forgot like an idiot to go to the restroom before this race. So I will be right back. I do apologize for my brief absence. Sometimes you just gotta go when you gotta go, and it looks like Huket has gained some time back while I was gone. And there's a yellow, and it's Trazione has spun it and I think gone into the barriers a little bit, but also on I think on the start straight, and the leaders are coming up on it and just gets out of the way just in time. Colin Barker gets past the issue. But yes, we now have Huket is just under half a second behind, just over half a second behind Charmander, but Charmander seems to be just a little bit quicker in the last two sectors, but is gaining the time. So we might see a move here soon for the lead. Oh, and Huket is very close here, and he will be getting... Let's see, let's switch cameras here real quick. Huket looks like he might get a good run out here on the turn, but goes a bit wide compared to Char, but still seems to be good. Really sticking to him now. And might be able to finish this race up. Might be able to get the move done here now with about 45 minutes to go. Here we go, Huket. Into the run on turn one. Char trying to break the slipstream there a little bit. I think still on there. Oh, Huket, I think, got a good run out of that turn. On the slipstream again. Almost pushing Char through that turn. Really having gained a lot of time. Char might be fuel saving or might have having issue tire saving. We're not sure, but Huket gained a lot of time and in the last few. Hookat Char building again a little more gap now, but again we're going to the front straight, where Hookat does gain a decent amount of time on Char. So we'll see if that's enough. No, just a bit too far back to make a move here. I think Hookat needs to stick. Really need to be able to stick to Charmander just a little more. And oh, looks like Mentrix has gone wide in the back, or Bunovic has caught up to Mentrix and is looking to get a move done here. We'll switch that just as soon as I check back on the leaders. And the leaders are coming out on lap traffic, so that might complicate things. Bunovic looking to get past iMentrix here for P8. Every point counts here, obviously, so this might affect the final standings. And Bunovic looks like he has a good run here on Mentrix on the outside. And gets the move done. Oh, goes a little bit wide. Oh, contact between the two. Now they go a drag race down the turn one. Bunovic now still behind iMentrix. Going into turn one, losing a little bit of time for that contact and going wide. Here they come again into turn one. And Bunovic still slightly behind. But still keeping with iMentrix. And there's a yellow. Looks like Galantine has gone around again. They have, and I will... Yes, I think, yep, yeah. Let's get some nice engine sounds from that nice Audi. One of my favorite cars in this game. Bunovic has dropped back. Bunovic has dropped back just a little bit from the tail there, but again is trying his darndest to get past Mentrix, and looked like he had the move done, but just went wide into the final turn before the start-finish straight, and it really cost him. Let's see if he can recover from it. Again, we are approaching the 30-minute mark where we might start seeing some pit strategies maybe occurring. And Bunovic still pushing for that pass. Bunovic right behind Mentrix. Going into the final sector. And here they go down the start-finish straight. Mentrix had a pretty good sector, and iMentrix trying to break the toe here. It looks like Bunovic has... Oh, might go for a bit of a lunge there, but no, this goes for a tighter line. Let's see, Bunovic has dropped back quite significantly, having gone wide there. And I think that's going to wrap that up for at least a bit. But Bunovic again, and looks like Akeem is pitting, and that will be the first pit stop of the race. With about 37 minutes left to go. Imagine that's a refueling stop. Oh, and a yellow, and that's Trazione around again. Not going to do wonders for your tires there. So we might see a pit stop from Trazione in these coming seconds. Look at still behind Charmander, nothing going there. Colin Barker kind of is in his own world. Too far behind really of Huket and Charmander to do anything there, and too far ahead of Mekua to be in any danger. And Mekua is living in the same world, being too far behind Colin Barker and too far and far enough ahead of Kale that kind of just sitting in no man's land here. And lap traffic actually coming up here, and Bunovic has gained again time on iMetrics. And they're actually going onto this battle. Bunovic right on the bumper of iMetrics. Are they gonna try to? He's gonna try to break the toe. Goes almost to the wall to break that toe. Let's see how they go into turn one with the with the two leaders behind them. Let's see how they behave here. Bunovic looking to hang it around the outside, and does. And Charmander falls in between them, and that compromises Bunovic's line. And oh man, Hurkat gets caught between signs, and iMetrics and Bunovic give it, and has lost some time to the leader. Bunovic again right behind iMetrics, looking to make the move. Does take a tighter line here through this turn. Doesn't have the room to make a move here, but keeps going. But that was unfortunate for Hurkat, losing some time there. See if he can regain it after basically being caught in two cars trying to pass each other in turn one. Nothing that necessarily the other two could do about it, but just ended up being like that. Bunovic still looking to try to get past Metrics. Hurkat is trying to gain back the time he's lost, but it's going up to 2 seconds. And he'll stick with Bunovic as we are approaching the 30-minute mark of this race. And Bunovic is pitting. And that is going to throw things around. I wonder if Metrix is going to go no stop, or if we're going to have a stop or a pit stop, or is he going to pit stop? And we have another yellow, and I think that's Galantine around again. Not the race Galantine probably wanted to end the season with, but sometimes it just is like that. Hurkat has gained some time back on the leader. Back under 2 seconds. Akeem gets past Bunovic in the pits. Bunovic still in the pits. Looks like a refueling stop currently. And there is a yellow, and I believe that's Mentrix. Yes, Mentrix has gone off the track, and that's going to cost him time. And Bunovic has left the pits. Going to cost him time and tires, which tire wear is, again, very important in this track, that you might be able to save the fuel, but can you navigate the tires for that long? And Mentrix letting Colin Barker pass there by just going a little bit off track. Hakim has pit, and Bunovic has as well. And voluntarily pit stops, let's go with that. And Galantine has pit due to damage. Razione is still going, I believe, and has not pit yet. So there's been 2 pit stops. Bunovic and Hakim have both pit today. But yes, Colin Barker suddenly gained a lot of time, and Colin Barker is going into the pits, and that's the first in the top 4 going for a pit stop here. Yeah, sorry, we should not be watching a pit stop. And Alan Kale goes past, and Victor Masada goes past. Colin Barker in the pits. We'll see if we'll see any more pits. Huket again, having fought back the time between him, and it's back down under 1 second. As we approach the 30-minute mark, I hope everyone is enjoying tonight's stream of the track AWD X track series and the IVTC championship, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend so far. So yes, we are about to approach the 30-minute mark. We are already halfway past this race. We'll see if there will be any blinking between the top 2. And comes to pitting. Oh, and that's Galantine around. I think we just saw that from the main camera angle. Yep, Galantine around again. I think that damage to Galantine suffered again, not really favorable to their Gar. And Akeem, I think it's just approaching Galantine, yes. And Trazione is around as well. And Galantine is still correcting themselves, yes. The 2 cars around. Independently of each other. Yes, we have 29 minutes remaining here in Portimão in Portugal. And that's another yellow. And I think Galantine has just one wide again. And we are under 30 minutes. 30 minutes left to go in this season finale in the IVTC. As a reminder, we will be switching games next week. Not next week. Next series will be taking place on Assetto Corsa Competizione, which will be a different game, and we'll see different cars, and maybe more creative paint, and maybe a little more paints, not more creative paint schemes, but more different paint schemes. Because in ACC, you can kind of make your own paint scheme, while here you're kind of just stuck with the paint schemes available in Raceroom. We are still going here. In this race. Sorry. I'm kind of blinking. I just blinked a little bit there. That's my bad. And I look like Trazione and Galantine have both pit. Trazione is probably doing a stop related to either damage or a planned pit stop. I'm not sure on that. Looks like it might be a damage pit stop, seeing as the car is raised. Huket is lost again some time, but is now maybe going for more fuel conservation, having been kind of stuck behind Charmander for a bit. Also, he has to consider obviously you want to go for the race win, but you might not want to compromise your position. VTuber McCour. McCour has gained a spot on him, and looks like Galantine has gone around. Oh, Galantine hard into the wall. And that is... Oh, and Bunovich also around. And I think that is... Yep, that is Galantine's race and season. Quite unfortunate. And... Barker has... lost, I think is lost his position to Basato, but in trying to get it back after pitting, and does grab the position quite easily. Probably on fresher fuel and fresher tires here. Oops, sorry. About 25 minutes to go. Colin Barker is trying to gain time back on Alan Kale, which he's gaining quite efficiently here. The top three are pretty wide. There's a pretty wide gap between second and third, which is important to relate to the championship. Colin Barker is gaining on Alan Kale in that nice Corvette. Obviously under the benefits of having pit and probably being able to put more fuel going into higher engine modes. And Trazione has left the pits. No messages in chat. And Colin Barker is looking to maybe get the move done here on in turn 1 or on the start-finish straight. Has the speed, has the toe. Let's see if he does the move. Goes on the inside here and gets that move done. Covers off Barker. Covers our Kale's exit. And it looks like Barker has regained his position. And that's another yellow, and I think that's Trazione around again. Yep, Trazione has gone around. And, oh, there looks like major damage in that car. Not trying to get the dirt off the tires. Yep, doesn't look good there for Trazione. And maybe we'll see a retirement here from Trazione. Back to Colin Barker, who has put some time between him and Trazione. Yep, spun again. Victor Masato, Alan Kale. Yep, they're just passing the incident. Yep, let's see what the issue is. I don't quite know what the issue might be here. Yes, it definitely appears to be damage. Staying very wide to avoid incidents, and it looks like is going into... Nope, is not going into the pits. And, that doesn't look good. Oh yes, never mind. I forgot the pit exit. The pit entry is a little bit... Yep, that does not look like a happy car. And it definitely is not a happy car. Back to some racing. Victor Marzotto trying to stay with Colin Barker. With Victor Marzotto with Alan Cale, sorry. Colin Barker has built some time between him and Alan Cale, who has not pit, so currently only racers out of pit on the track are Bunovic, Ikim, and Trazione is currently in the pit stop, who did pit, but is getting repairs done, which I suspected as much. Ah, yes, that's very unfortunate, Galantine. That is very unlucky. You know what happens? Yeah, no, that's very unlucky. Yeah, Galantine meant saying that he didn't, they forgot to brake going out of the pits. And that just sometimes happens. Especially if you're just focused on accelerating, getting your speed up again, and some pit entry exits are a bit more tricky than others. But yes, that is very unfortunate. So probably not the most ideal way to end the season, but you know, you still had a pretty decent season. So I think obviously glad to have you, and I hope you enjoyed your at least your race today. At least the time you had, and we are hitting just over 20 minutes. We're getting towards the business end, as people like to say, of this race. And we'll see how that will take, how far that will take people. Still no movement between the top two, having been Charmander and Mike Huket for a while now. Mekua has moved up back to P3 after the pit stop from Colin Barker, who is eating a little bit into the time. We'll see if he has the necessary time left in the race to be able to get that done. Currently, only closest racers seem to be ready in for a move is Victor Masato, but just not close enough right now, but is close enough to be considered some action, so that's what we're going to be watching for a bit now. Well, while we're here, let's get some nice engine sound, shall we? Masada gets a lot of time on that. Getting a little bit of time there on the front straight. Yes, that is fair. Hey, as long as you have one good round, right? And a good round on one of the harder tracks that we did. Suzuka West is not exactly a cakewalk, so you know it's it's there to. As long as you're happy with your performances, I don't think there's much to ask for. Like, as long as you're happy with your own performances, I think you had a good season. That's the way I usually view it. Is that as long as you're happy with your own performances, and you know you did as well as you thought you could, I think you would have had a good season. I think that's the way I view it. I'm not sure how some others might view it, but that's the general idea I have when it comes to racing. Masato has got some time in here. Well, wonder if Kale might be fuel saving a little bit right now. And Akeem has gained on Mentrix as well. So we have some moves here might be developing. Victor Masato gaining again. And now the front straight where they did gain a decent amount of time the last time they were there. It doesn't seem to be the case right now. And Masato still behind Alan Kale. And now they're really getting in there. We might see a move here now. Masato right on the bumper of Alan Kale. Going on the outside. Can I get a better camera angle? Thank you, Raceroom. And looks to go on the inside. Maybe a switchback. No. Masato is still ahead here of Alan Kale and might have the move done now. Alan Kale is still sticking with Masato. But, and let's see, there's another move. Akeem might be passing iMentrix here for P7. Let's see if he can get if they can get the move done. Akeem poking their head around, but doesn't seem to have the momentum right now to carry. Victor Masato trying to pull away from Alan Kale, but still Kale in the striking distance. Akeem trying to get past iMentrix. Charmander has built a over 2 second gap lead now. Seems to be a lot more comfortable compared to the first onset of the laps. And here comes Akeem on the outside of iMentrix. Tries to slingshot it around. Let's see how this goes. They are basically side by side. The car is looking a bit funky on the camera angle, but I think that just might be a lag thing. Unless the car is actually drifting right now. And Mentrix seems to have the angle there, but Akeem might have the run here out of turn 1 and 2. Look to go to the inside. Oh, and covers off Mentrix there. Masato coming here to lap these two, which might, and I think Alan Kale is pitting. Yes, Alan Kale is pitting. And let's see how these two will behave with getting lapped by Masato, who's currently sitting in P5. Where they will make room for him. No room yet here, but we'll see. Mentrix again on the inside. Masato not really having room, and I don't think they're going to give him the room right now because they are in the middle of their battle. And they're not going to give up track position for lap traffic right now. Masato gets past, and Mentrix loses some time because of that. But depending on where Masato overtakes Akeem will lose some time there as well. Yes, Kyoso says go Victor. Yes, Masato having a pretty good race today, being with a very smooth overtake there on Alan Kale, who is now in the pits, 47 seconds off, who just left the pits, I think, 47 seconds off, and Akeem is using Masato as a slipstream to get some distance between him and them and Mentrix. Sorry. And yes, it looks like Akeem is trying to drop Mentrix, but Mentrix is still sticking with him. Char still looking in the lead, about over a little under 2.5 seconds ahead of Hukat. Hukat in second. I think that would be second place for them, for third place for them in the championship. Nakua sitting in third, getting slowly caught by Colin Barker, who is only 19 seconds behind now, and might be able to get there in time if he can really put in some good laps. We'll see how that will develop towards the end of the race. And we do have a yellow, and I think it's Bunovic has spun it. And that will, well, won't really change anything. Bunovic is several laps ahead of their next closest competitor, Trazione and Trigali, due to their pits and damaged pits. So Trazione and Trigali just gained one of their laps back. Metrics is still pretty close on. On Akeem, who his car apparently is having a bit of a lean to it. I don't think that's how the car is in their game, but that is just how it looks like to me. You never know, that might actually be how the car is driving, but I very much doubt it is. Colin Barker has taken a second out of it, and oh, Metrix gets past Akeem there. What a move! I think Akeem going a little bit wide in one of the turns, and it just leaves the door wide open for iMetrix, who takes back P7. But now, again, drag race into the next turn. They're side by side. This might get a bit hairy. And Akeem gets their place back. We're having some wonderful racing between these two. Akeem, Metrix, battling over P7 in this race. Metrix still currently has P7. Gets a slightly worse run than Akeem out of that turn, but is able to cover off Akeem from that run. Now, trying to again build back some time. There's about 10 minutes left to go. This battle is not done, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see how this develops in the next few laps. Akeem just over half a second behind. And again, one mistake, just as we saw there, can cost you your position. Akeem, who worked pretty hard to get that position, is now back to P8. Now, while we're here, let's just go down back the order. Char leading in first with about 10 minutes. Let's go down the order. Char in first, just under 2 seconds ahead of Mike Cookett in second. Mekua in third, Colin Barker in fourth, gaining that gap now 16, just under 17 seconds between the two. Victor, oh, and Metric spins it, and that is again position lost, and Akeem takes that position in. Unless we see a mistake by Akeem, that might be that wrapped up, and that's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. That was a very good battle, and you hate to see battles like that end due to a spin that is unrelated to the two fighting for that position. And oh, maybe the tire wear is really getting to it, and then we have yellows. It is Trazione around in the last turn. Colin Barker has gained some time back on Mekua, just under 16 seconds behind. Will he have the time? Unless he starts cutting 2 seconds a lap. I don't think that he will. But we'll see. We'll see how this develops in the last few laps. And of course, and then that's Trazione around. Some tire issues there. I don't know what might be the problem here. Trazione around again. Right in front of Victor Mazzato, who gets doesn't get caught out by it. And then Trazione having some it must be tire issues. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'm not the expert on that. I don't race Portimão that much. The only time I raced Portimão was in the F1 game last year. And, very different experience. Again, as mentioned before, I prefer GT cars. And we are 8 minutes left here in this race. And I think the positions might be solidifying. Hurkat is again still has a chance of making it to the. Might still get a chance to make it there, depending how well both of them have saved fuel or not. We are now under 8 minutes remaining. Kyle Barker is going to lap Bunovic, I believe there. Yes, Bunovic gets lapped for the by Colin Barker. Colin Barker is only 13 seconds behind, but I think I think it just won't be enough time here to get. Yes, I'm not sure. I can't really see the damage really well on my end, but Akeem might have damaged suspension. I didn't know what might have caused that. Maybe taking too much curb, but we'll see. Barker is getting close under 10 seconds here with 6 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. Getting towards the end of this race. We're almost done here, and we're about to hit the 5-minute mark. But we'll see how this goes. And yes, here we go. We are now under 6 minutes left to go. Akeem has, yes, it does. Might actually, yes, it actually could look like it looks like there's damage, but they still are going. They don't seem to be much slower than Mentrix, but they are significantly slower than Alan Kale. So, and they are slower than Trazione. Sorry again about that. Yes, it looks like again the order has solidified quite significantly here. With 5 minutes left to go, Colin Barker I don't think will be catching Mekua unless Mekua has a mistake here towards the end of the race. I think those 10 seconds just a bit too much to get to that position. Akeem definitely is just probably concerned about keeping their P7 nowhere near the close enough to Alan Kale. The only other place where there might be a change of position is in the lead. Mike Hurkat still chasing Charmander, who is in first, and it's tantalizing because Mike Hurkat has been seeing Charmander this entire race, has had the car in sight, and might have been able to even get a move done once or twice, had the opportunity, especially during the lap traffic. If he did get caught out there between the two lapped cars, I think he might have had a really good shot at overtaking the leader. But for now, it looks like it might be P2 here in the end for him, but I don't think that'd be too much of a disappointing result for the German driver. Mentrix has gained again time on Akeem, but has to be gaining much more. Colin Barker again has gained time on Mekua. Now it's under 9 seconds here, but I don't think that just the time, I don't think will be enough. He'll have to gain 4 seconds in the next 2 laps, basically, to have a shot at overtaking here, which I don't think we will be seeing. But you never know. This is, after all, the final race. Mekua has not pit, and is actually Mekua has not pit, I believe. And there's a yellow, and that's Bunovic, and Bunovic around again. Mentrix has again gained some time. Just under just over 5 seconds here between him and Akeem. And Akeem, yes, definitely looks like there's some damage because Akeem has lost significant time now And ooh, there might be issues with Akeem. Nope. Akeem is still ahead, but lost a lot of time there to Mentrix, who might get close enough just at the end of this race to get one more move done. We will see. Let's keep it here on Mentrix. Not Mentrix. And there is someone going into the pits. And I believe that is Akeem going into the pits. And iMentrix gets that position without much fuss. And that's very unfortunate here for Akeem. I imagine that might be a fuel issue. Probably just filling up enough to finish the race. Let's see if Bunovic can get to the front straight fast enough to get that position from Akeem. We'll see how this goes. Gaining obviously the time quite quickly because Akeem is standstill. Akeem's still in the pits here. Is not leaving the pits. They are repairing something. And that looks like Bunovic will grab. Oh, Akeem, looks like Akeem is underway, and we might see a fight here. And Akeem gets a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Very unfortunate. And that is definitely that done and dusted. Akeem will probably finish P9 here unless something quite dramatic happens. Yes, thank you for informing that. And I wonder, they have to serve it in the next few laps, or else they will get they might have to serve it right at the end of this lap. Keep trying to get past, obviously on track here past Bunovic. See, probably will get added. I don't know how Raceroom does it. Usually, I am not as familiar with it, so it might be added to the end of the race because this probably might be the second last lap here for Akeem, and if he even gets past Bunovic, they will still have the they'll still have the opportunity. They will still probably get the time of the penalty tacked onto the end of it. We will see. Also, we will see if Akeem saw the penalty, because that has been issued in the past, especially with the driver right ahead of him, who has not had gotten disqualified a couple times in this race just for not seeing penalties. And I think it's mostly due to just sometimes not seeing them on track. Anyway, now let's go to the front. Char is looking to lap here Victor Masada one more time. Victor Masada, it appears, yes. But timer is about to expire. The checkered flag, I believe, is out unless there's one extra lap here to go. But Char is heading to another race win. And we will probably, and oh, Akeem might get past here. And does in lap, nope, does not. Let's see, and Char swerving. Hurkat also swerving, and Char wins the race. Hurkat finishes second, and Char the champion finishes the race, finishes his season with style with another win to end the season. Bunovic and Akeem still fighting over this position. Akeem ahead, but might get changed due to that drive-through penalty. So we will see what happens here. Mekua, I believe, is about to finish this race. Yes, Mekua is about to finish. And yes, there was, I think, a party crash. And Bunovic drops off. But let's see how this race finishes with Akeem having that drive-through penalty. I wonder if they'll get disqualified at the end of the race, or they will get a time penalty assessed to them. I think that will be the key. Mekua, I think, has finished the race. Yes, Mekua finishes third. Colin Barker finishes fourth, I believe. Yes, Colin Barker finishes fourth. Victor Masato will finish, most likely, in fifth. Another good race for them. Yes, let's see what happens here once Akeem crosses the start-finish line. Oh, and they go into the pits now to serve their drive-through penalty. And Bunovic gets across ahead, and we'll get that position. We'll finish P8, I believe. Yes, P8 for Bunovic. And yes, that is the race done. And here are your final standings. Charmander finishes first, followed by Mike Huket in second, Nakua in third, Colin Barker in fourth, Victor Masato in fifth, Alan Kale in sixth, iMetrics in seventh, Bunovic in eighth, Ikim getting a 90-second penalty for not serving the penalty, Trazione Interiale finishing 10th, and our non-finishers are Galantine and Alex Tooney, both due to damages. Well, I think that was quite a fun race, everyone. I think, let's see. Let's do, which one do I want to do? But yes, I'm going to be kicked out of this out of the game as the server is done. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and thank you for having me, for spending some time for me with this afternoon. And I will see you guys for the next season. Everyone, have a good day.